Going on. Still early. Still pretty early for me. Late night. I think I was betting on like Japan qualifiers, Beijing qualifiers, 20-year-old tennis players. No idea, man. Almost hit. There was a stretch last night between Padres and the Cardinals. That's not the game I'm talking about. The Cardinals played the Giants. Let's start over. Padres game last night against the Milwaukee Brewers. I was live betting pitches. How fast is this pitch going to be? How fast is that pitch going to be? And I ended up cutting about half mile betting on pitches. Pretty sharp. Pretty sharp. Betting on will he throw it over 87.45 miles per hour on the third pitch of this specific at? Sure. What do you throw the first two? And because the lag is so great from what you see on your TV to what you're getting available on your odds to what's actually happening live at the event, all three are different things. But I mean, come on. Guys throwing fastballs is throwing fastballs. He's throwing fastballs. He's going to keep throwing fastballs. If the fastballs are getting by him, why not throw the fastball? So I just kept hammering fastballs. Yeah, this one's going to get hit 100, 99, 99. I swear to God, I rolled 25 to like 250. Like, just fucking $15 on pitches. Sweet. Not high roller. Degenerate. Fun. That's what it's all about. Let's make sure we're live here. 149 doesn't make sense. I don't think we have 149 viewers. I think it's just one. I think Twitter was lagging there. Make sure we're live here. Dude, the fucking 149 doesn't make sense. I don't think we have 149 viewers. I think it's just Twitter was lagging. No, there's no echo. There's not an echo. It's just going to be me watching myself from my phone having an echo. There's no echo. Let's see. No, there's no echo. There's not an echo. It's just going to be me watching myself from my phone having. There's no. I don't think there's an echo. If there's an echo, let me know. Call into the show, guys. I'm gonna right now. What we're gonna be doing is figuring out how to get the Google Voice onto the OBS. So anytime anyone, maybe if they ever did, called the number to give their take, college football wagering is better than the NFL. Dan Campbell gets lucky a lot, and bad beat experts. Where have you been? Haven't seen you guys in years. All of a sudden, everyone can define what a bad beat is, greater than the other person. Interesting. It's so weird how these conversations organically roll out between personalities in the sports betting space. I had no idea you guys knew what exactly a bad beat was and how everyone else is using the term incorrectly. I apologize for my, I guess, lack of intelligence, my insuperiority to you and your intelligence. My bad. Sorry. I didn't know I didn't know there was a strict definition of what a bad beat is. Because in poker, that's where the thing comes from. A bad beat is a one outer. Anyone with, in my opinion, two outs is kind of a bad beat too. I lost in the World Series of Poker this year. My first time ever going to the World Series of Poker. I'm playing in a side event. I bust out of the bracelet event. I'm playing in a side event. I'm going pretty deep into the side event. They won. And I had chips in the bracelet too. Punted after first break. Absolutely punted. Just gave them all back. Had like 100,000 after the first 2 hours of play. It was probably like top 15. A couple hundred people, 400 people. Doing good. Punted. So I get into the bracelet event. I punt. I get into the side event. I'm going, and start with 25,000. I end up with like 10,000. Kind of crawl back to about 15,000, a little under starting, about 18, 20,000. Get it in with queens. This is early still too, right? Like, um, Reg is closed, but no one, we haven't broke a bubble. No one's paid. So I'm just dwindling with like eight bigs, nine bigs, I believe. Get queens, put them in position. Decent spot, right? Guy calls. Another guy calls. Okay, not great. Queen on the flop. Sweet. Queen 6x. Sweet. I'm all in pre. I got this iPod I'm working with. The first guy to call me actually starts betting on that and gets a call. Turns a 6. Guy bets again. Other guy folds. And I look to the guy on my left. And I'm like, if this guy shows pocket sixes, I'm going to get on my flight. Because I lost a bad beat in the bracelet to punt it back. Unlucky is what it is. There's a difference between being unlucky and a bad beat. To me, bad beat has to do with the stakes and your specific role. So if you got to roll 10, 50, 100 G's, whatever, you're a big guy, big man on campus, Win loves you. Resorts World can't stop comping you. Your bad beats are going to be incredibly different than the 1-2 in Omaha, Nebraska. The 1-2 guy in Omaha, Nebraska. Absolutely, you're going to have different bad beats. Absolutely. Bad beats aren't. So call in 872-216-5771. Got a lot to talk about. Those three things. Bad beat experts. Where have you been? We've missed you. You guys are geniuses. You know everything about everything all the time. And it's just so incredible to be able to read your stuff for free on Twitter, on YouTube, to watch your stuff. And it is for free. They say you shouldn't hand out such great product for free, but you guys you go against the grain because you're smarter than everybody. Bottom line, you've always been smarter than everybody. That's what they told you in elementary school. That's what they told you your whole life. You've always been very advanced. Advanced. Yeah, he takes the bus to the high school to take math. He's he's in the advanced class. Okay, relax, everybody. Guy like collects his fingernails and stuff too, right? Should we talk about his social anxiety? Should we talk about the antisocial stuff? The internet's a problem. You know, you guys are geniuses. Dan Campbell gets lucky a lot, easy. If anyone says Dan Campbell's a fantastic head coach, that he should be in the running for coach of the year, that he doesn't need Ben Johnson at all. You saw it yesterday. What great playmaking Dan Campbell can come up with in times of need. You saw it all yesterday. It's all there for you to crown him now in week three. Three. Yeah, I was on the wrong side. Yeah, I'm upset about being on the wrong side. Who wouldn't be upset about being on the wrong side? Who wouldn't be upset about being on the wrong side? I'm upset about being on the wrong side of Baltimore yesterday. But at the end of the day, Dan Campbell still gets lucky a lot. You get a holding call on that fourth and 2 at the end of the game, up a touchdown. Kind of lucky to get that holding call. And people would say it's a great play call. Way to put the cojones on the table. Okay. Until fucking Goff slips or some shit. Until he gets 6 sent to his face. He's throwing the ball out of bounds on his back foot. And then what do you say? You can't crown guys off of individual situations. Dan Campbell got fucking mollywopped by Dan Quinn in that divisional last year. Mollywopped in that divisional. Bro couldn't hold up his own pants, let alone hold up a receiver. Could not figure it out. Jaden Daniels absolutely torched them. So is Dan Quinn coach of the year? He was up for it. Is he a better coach than Dan Campbell? Does Dan Campbell just get lucky a lot? You can't pick individual situations and cherry pick what makes you sound smart and what makes someone sound stupid. At the end of the day, you analyze all of it, the totality of their career, the discography of the NFL coach. What hits was he making back in the day? What's his new stuff sound like? Is it any good? No, man, it's not. It's not. There's some trickery. There's some keep your guys off your toes. The Detroit Lions much less won the game than the Baltimore Ravens lost the game. And if you don't agree with that, then you were up one on the right side. Lions 4.5, Lions money line, whatever. You're great. You're a genius. But if you do agree with that, then I think you do know ball. I think you understand that Baltimore lost that game more so than Detroit won it. And it's not the best analogy to put for that game. What we saw. The Lions did look good. Goff does look good. St. Brown gets open. He's got to get a couple more targets. I think Raymond had a reception or two. Spreading the ball out a ton. Florida was getting in there. There's one guy who is absolutely ass, and all these younger guys who follow football, they love him. They absolutely love him for absolutely no reason. It's like the funniest thing. This Tesla guy, their backup tight end or whatever, slot guy, whatever. I don't know what the fuck he is. He sucks, man. Guy can't block for shit. Guy can't run a route for shit. Guy can't catch for shit. What do you got? What am I missing with this guy? He had a good college career somewhere in the Big Ten or an SEC. Is he a Michigan guy? He sucks. Absolutely sucks. I don't really remember where he's from, actually. That's the problem. I thought it was Michigan. I could be totally wrong. But I see yesterday, poor performance from Tesla yesterday, bottom line. Not good route running, not good blocking, and not good catching. Dropped a couple where Detroit could have skated through that game. Baltimore loses that game because Van Noy's on the injury block, right? He's not going to play no matter what the entire week. He's not practicing with your starters. He's not getting the reps out. So what are you doing during the week that's saying, all good, next man up? You don't go to sleep and think, man, what if that next guy up isn't my 12 and a half a year sack guy Van Noy from last year? What if my next guy up here is just going to get fucking railroaded by a 30-year-old David Montgomery? What happens then? What do I do then? What does my defense look like then? You don't think about that at all, Harbaugh? You don't go to bed thinking about that? I think about that all the time, dude. I thought about that with the Bears defense all week. What are we gonna do without Johnson? What are we gonna do without Edmonds? They hold Dallas to 14. I'm wrong. You don't. I didn't have to be thinking about that stuff. The Bears defense looked incredible. Jacoby Brissett looked fucking phenomenal. If there's anyone who loves Jacoby Brissett more than me, it's Tom Brady because he couldn't get enough of Brissett. He's good. But and so I go to bed thinking about the wrong things. John Harbaugh goes to bed thinking about the right things. Maybe that's why he's more successful than I am. At the end of the day, though, you got to think like I need to stack this box, dude. I cannot let them run the ball down my throat. I want Goff to beat me in the air because I want the ball back if he makes those chunk plays like he's supposed to. I want the ball back. The 53 and a half is going to sky. We're going to moon over that. I just need Goff to throw. I need to take away a run. And if the first quarter was Gibbs receptions 20 plus, sharp as hell. That's an awesome one. That's a great pick I saw on the timeline. Like people were analyzing that one and had a really good sell on Gibbs over 20 receiving yards in the first quarter yesterday, and it hit, and it was a good pick. It was an absolute great analysis, and it came to fruition. That's okay. Let him beat you in the air. Let him get the 20 receiving yards. You got to stop this run, bro. Like you have to stop this run. I can't get over it enough. I'm watching the whole game yesterday. Clock, like eating it, bro. And we talked about TOP in yesterday's show too, and who's going to hold the ball longer. TOP for Baltimore last week was bad. TOP for week one, Green Bay. I think Detroit only had the ball for 20 minutes, I think it said. 25 minutes. Didn't look like that last night. So that's awesome. That's the thing about the NFL is these things flip on a dime. You have to know defenses. You have to know depth charts. You have to know secondaries. At the end of the day, I've skated through Baltimore's defense. And I took the Van Noy injury as something like a next man up type thing too. There's so many things you have to think about as a head coach in the NFL. Obviously, week by week, offense, defense, special teams, but then your coaching staff and all the extremities that come with it. So I could see how it's standard to just rely on your backup. It's standard to go next man up. I totally get that. But once it stops working, once that first quarter hits and you notice Montgomery's got like 25 on the ground or 30-ish on the ground after like 20 minutes, right? I want to put 7 in there. I want to blitz Goff all day, and I'm just going to run man. I'm not going to run the zone. I'm not going to run any shell. I'm not going to let Goff beat me in the zone. I'm not going to run this spy. What Detroit did defensively is also great. So another thing that Dan Campbell is going to get credit for that I don't know how much influence he actually had calling wise was the defensive spy stuff. That Lamar talked about this in his post game too. I saw it. It was a corner that would roll down on side of the defensive end and look like they're sending six. And sometimes he'd go, sometimes he wouldn't. And then Hutchinson's right on that edge. So Hutchinson gets back there And Lamar has to think, do I have two guys here or just one guy here? He watches the spy go back. They're rolling back to like a cover two. Lamar's like, okay, I got time. I'm going to take a step up. Sack. Sacked six, 7 times, 7 times yesterday. I know six for sure. I think he got sacked late too. Um, yeah, at the end of the game when they were chasing, he got what it was is like a 5 step drop turned into like a 7 step drop. And you're thinking, like, just cut through a gap and get over the line of scrimmage, buddy. Like, run. Shoelace tackles all day. Guys on the ground. Hutchinson was crawling on the ground. Hutchinson was crawling on the ground, brother. You got an animal out there crawling on the ground like that. Lamar's not too happy. Even at home, you're not too happy. You're not getting the ball enough as well. You're stalling on your drives. You're taking these sacks that really just kill your momentum. Kill your momentum. You can't hit Zane flat 2, 3 times in a row if you're getting sacked once every 3 times, or if you're getting pressured every time. The spy was super important. The spy looked great. Lamar didn't. He couldn't make decisions on time. He gets sacked. That's what happens. I think the game we talked about it yesterday. The game plan was for him to stay in the pocket more. He had his throwing yards really early on. Looked decent, good accuracy, great tight spiral, getting it to the target on time ish, a little late, but having to do it with his legs and being able to from the pocket or behind the line of scrimmage. Cool. If that's your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, if that's what Lamar's doing in the quarterback room, that's awesome. And then you did that successfully on Sunday or on Monday night, but you lost that game. So you're practicing well, your strategy's well. 872-216-5771 Sports Guy Radio NFL call-in show. My three takes. College football wagering is better than the NFL. Dan Campbell gets lucky a lot. And bad beat experts. Where have they been? All right. 15 minutes in the book. Commercial. Or guest. Anyone, bro. Call the number. I'm trying to see if I have absolutely any leads for a guest on the radio call-in show. Give us a call. 872-216-5771. Those are my three takes. You can give me any of your takes. Pretty confident. I can handle most things. Dating advice, I'm there. Around the house stuff, been getting better at that. Mostly a lot of sports. The sports investment stuff, I just can't stand, bro. Predictive markets, I invested $400 into the Lions money line last night. It's like, what are you talking about? Are you delusional? What has happened to our society, man? I'm gonna start feeling like Hal from Malcolm in the Middle when he has his little ham radio and he's doing his like anti-government conspiracy theory channel from his garage. That's exactly what I feel right now. But seriously, what happened? Why are you guys like this? Do you think maybe this is why we can't have nice things? Black screen in the back. Probably want to just like give us a capture somewhere. That's what I have in the background. You guys can take a look see. It's just me screen grabbing The Athletic. Which we do not need to do. Like ESPN, man. Free. Up to date. We could look at some power rankings. Look at some Survivor stuff if we get our boy Survivor calling in. Numbers at the top of the screen. I don't really know what I want to look at, man. Kind of just going over that Monday Night Football game yesterday and not licking my wounds about being on Baltimore, but trying to come up to some conclusion about Dan Campbell. I've missed on him for years. I think the kneecap stuff is a little egregious. I think you kind of get disqualified from a celestial thing. You're probably out of the zeitgeist for me. Once you start talking about eating 19-year-old kneecaps, the kids are 19, man. They're like college athletes. and you're telling your guys like, let's fucking eat their kneecaps, bro. Hutchinson, that's what he was doing yesterday. I get that's how you get a group of people riled up, people who just want to hit other people. Totally. Totally. At the end of the day, though, ridiculous. That's what I want to find the speech. We're gonna watch it together. What the hell? Uh, I'm in all caps still. Here we go. I thought this was in college. Let's make sure I got my desktop audio going too. Oh, maybe I have to, dude. Gosh darn it. Let me triple check that there's no echo here. I'm not hearing one of my headphones. I took my headphones off. Oh, maybe I have to, dude. Gosh. No, we're good. There's no echo. Triple check that there's no echo here. I'm not hearing one of my headphones. I took my headphones off. Whatever. No, we're good. All right. How do I get my desktop audio back in my audio mixer? Whoops. Whoops. Got the audio input capture with the Shure through the Focusrite. Nice Focusrite. How do I get my desktop audio back? Fuck. I wonder if I just played it, if it would hit the speaker, like hit my mic. Oh, that's why it's playing through the headphones. Sure.
Out and it found a way to get up. All right, it's found a way to overcome adversity. All right, and so this team's going to be built on. We're going to kick you in the teeth. All right, and when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you, and when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off. All right, and we're going to stand up, and then it's going to take two more shots to knock us down. All right, and on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap, and we're going to get up, and then it's going to take three shots to get us down. And when we do, we're going to take another pump out of you. But so we're going to be the last one standing.
Fucking ridiculous, dude. Grow up, man. Grow up. Let's put this back in here. I don't want the desktop to come through again. Sit with that one for a second, huh? Dude, I'm gonna just screw up all my audio here. Give me 1 second. There. All right. 1 second.
Wow.
Yeah, you can see you. You can see you.
You can see me?
The mic's on. They can hear you too.
I like the angle.
All right. Back to hating on Dan Campbell. That was fun. Time flies when you're having fun. Still looking at the call-in show. No one's called in yet. 872-216. 5771. I'm going to go blast this out. I'm just going to blast it. Who should I blast it to? Who should I blast it to? See who calls. Hey, George, feel free to call into the show. And give us some of your best NFL takes for week 3. I could be pleasant. Who else? Beak. Give us a call. 872-216-5771. 872-216-5771. Call into the show. All right, let's see. You know what? I've been looking at this. If you want to call into the show, we are running now and would love to get an Atlas update from none other than Mr. Survivor Atlas himself. How about this guy? Hey, buddy. If you want to call into the show and give us some takeaways, it's one word, from week 3 NFL, let me know. Let me know, dude. I'm going to give this guy a shot. Call into the NFL show and let's talk football, buddy. You need to Fanzak hates my guts. Fuzzy, give us a call. Call-in show is live. This is begging. Someone said begging. Where's Jeff? Jeff, I'm begging. I'm asking a lot of people to come on the show. Asking a lot of people to call into the show. Where's Jeff? Jeff, I'm begging. Dude, if fucking Poker Flops is beating me out here, I'm gonna be pissed. And then they got this week 4 breakdown lunch lady thing. I don't know, dude. Who am I competing with? What am I competing with? What is my thing? What am I even doing? I guess talking shit about Dan Campbell, dude. Because I really think he's not the sharpest tool in the bunch, man. But that's just my own 2 cents. We'll move on from Mr. Campbell. We will go into the college football wagering is better than the NFL. Absolutely, dude. That's an easy one. I could skate on that for 2 hours. Same with the Campbell, same with the bad beats. So I got 6 hours worth of stuff for anyone who wants to call in. I am bleeding here. That's okay. So that's hilarious. The Dan Campbell knee speech thing. I thought that was in college. One day ago, ESPN had a story on it. Let's just take a peek. I can only imagine. the fluffery here. We'll get to some data as well, obviously, later in the show. If we don't get any calls. Let me double check. If there's anything worth it. It was a quiet cry in a quiet cavern. Keep going. Wood and Ford Hamp steal a look at each other. Their eyes lock, fingers grazing over one another. They weren't expecting to see a head coach show up in a suit. See him cry. He's a gym clothes guy. He's the John Fetterman of the NFL. What the fuck? He's wearing a suit and he's crying. This is unbelievable. He's our guy. This is so poorly written. Excuse me. Poorly written. Let's just. This is what's happening in the story. A couple guys are introducing Dan Campbell as the head coach of the Detroit Lions, and someone found that. Let's bring it back up 4 years later, and let's talk about it. Here's 1,000 words on it. They give Campbell a minute to soak it in, and he composes himself as they begin to walk into the team facility for his introductory news conference. That day, January 21st, 2021, is still amid the height of the COVID precautions. So Ford Hamp goes into the room to address a screen full of reporters, and Wood goes into another. She speaks for 10 minutes and takes some questions. Then Wood does the same. It's a fairly standard introductory news conference, but then Campbell steps behind the podium. This is where everything changed. It's an empty room. Wait, it was an empty room, and dude's talking about eating kneecaps to an empty room, bro. The guy's talking about eating kneecaps to chairs. There's like a screen showing advertisement for like Aldi and Meyer in the background. And he's like, eat their kneecap a third time. How is that not psychotic? It is psychotic. Bro gets lucky. Battery's low on the JBL. I don't need the headphones today. I think we're doing good without them. I'm going to turn this off. Figure out how to charge it later. Oh, this is my nephew's stuff. He's coming tomorrow to pick it all up. So we're probably not going to be doing this for much longer. But, yeah, man. Brutal. Brutal writing. Hey, thanks, Avi. What's up, Avi? Avi, feel free to call into the show, buddy. 872-216-5771. You are a fantasy football expert. Feel free to come into the Fantasy Football Dome right now, and we can give some fantasy football stuff. Right now, my takes are just college football wagering is better than the NFL. Dan Campbell gets lucky. And bad beat experts. Where have they been? We could probably talk about the bad beat experts. How would you define a bad beat, Mr. Avi? To me, I think jumping over a center and blocking a field goal is unlucky, super unlucky. Packers probably bad beat, low key, just a heavy fave, ton of juice. Like, there's a ton of money on the Packers. My whole thing was like it matters about two things: what your role is and what the stakes are. That is conditions to a bad beat. You can't have bad beats without those two things being present, and they have to meet certain thresholds. My bad beat is going to be different than your bad beat all the time, every time. A good gig is at WSOP with the bucket, and you have a little post-it note, $1 bad beat stories. No matter what, you're coming out a winner. You're making some profit. These losers can't stop talking about their WSOP bad beats. Me included. Myself included. Eight 722-216-771. Yeah, man, I sent it out to like 4 or 5 people, 6 people, the number. See if maybe if I think Pizzola's busy if they got a show as well. But just any guest, anyone calling into the show is a win for us. Anyone calling into the show is a win for us. It's a very poorly written ESPN article about Dan Campbell's speech 4 years ago. We stopped at "It's an empty room," and it was only a period, or it was only a comma. It wasn't even a period. Like I shouldn't have stopped. There's more to this sentence. Hallway and reporters on a screen in front of Campbell. Yeah, he's talking to a screen. He's talking. He's in a Zoom call. Imagine this: you're up at 8, 9 o'clock. You roll out of bed. You make some coffee. Take care of what you got to take care of. You get to your desk. You pull up to your 9 o'clock Teams call, Zoom call. And you got this ogre. Let's go back to the video. You got this ogre. Just, I want to watch it again, knowing the scene, like knowing that there's no reporters in here, knowing that there's just like, it's a Zoom call. It's a Zoom call. At first, I was like, why are they bringing up COVID? Why is this important? But now I realize why they mentioned the COVID stuff. Look at his eyes. He's not talking to people. He's not talking to people in the audience whatsoever. There's no one in those. He's talking to empty chairs and he's talking to screens with people's faces on them. He's in a Teams call. So you roll out of bed. You get to that first call. It's like a sales and marketing blitz thing. Maybe it's like an operation DevOps thing. And you got to sit for like 30 minutes and ask your, do you need this done today? Question. But then your boss comes on. And here's your boss. 9 o'clock. That's what he looks like. Let's make sure we could hear it. He's talking to screens. It's going to echo if I play it through this. Let's just talk about the way he looks. You know what I mean? We don't need to actually listen to it. He's talking to a bunch of screens. He's on a Zoom call. This is what your boss looks like. And at first it seems all right. Like he's kind of moving around a bit. He's excited about something. He's going to tell us something. We have to be listening. He's doing the buttons. He unbuttons them again. No reason to be touching those buttons. I'm going to put my hands on this podium, this giant Meyer podium. My hands are going to go right here. And I'm going to start talking about biting people's kneecaps in about 30 seconds now. But before that, I'm going to start acting like a real cool guy. Let's watch this posture shift. It's good here. But for the first 10 seconds, he's nervous, man. He's nervous. He's jittery. He's imposter syndrome kicking in. Imposter syndrome's a bitch, dude. This guy has no clue what he's about to say to these people. So at 20 seconds, he's like, you know what? I'm going to suck it up. And I have 60 seconds worth of material that's going to fucking blow these people's minds. I'm just going to go do the kneecap story. And this is where he really sets in. Looking at these screens. Bro, there's no one there. Like, who are you talking to? There's no one in that room. There he goes. He's talking on the screens again. Looking up. Gotta make sure you look up and talk to the screens. You're on a Zoom call, boss. And then you start really listening to what he's saying. He gets really serious and he's like deep in thought. Like, what is this look? I'm really deep in thought here. I'm in the middle of a press conference that I'm clearly improvising. I have nothing written down, nothing prepared, loose outline of how I want this to go. Just a miserable guy. That's a miserable look. A clueless guy. Someone who most likely does not belong to be in that position at the time. But you have to remember this Lions team was 1-15, 1-16. I think they only played 17 or 16 at the time. They were 1-15. I think they won. They didn't win any games before him, but they won 1 or 2 games while he was first starting. Here's your shot, Danny. Go talk to the people. They're going to be on a Zoom call. You're going to have to talk to some screens, but just go make sure that they really know how excited you are and what an opportunity this is for you, your family, your career. Just go tell everyone how appreciative you are about the game of football. Everyone loves a good football story. Go tell a nice football story about your tight end days, right? Or a coaching story that made you want to coach. Just give us something we can walk away proud with. And at this point, about 40 seconds into this press conference, he's like, I'm doing the kneecap story. There's no other look than this look right here that says, I'm about to talk about eating kids' kneecaps. I've never seen anyone look like that and then say, I'm super grateful to be here. I've only seen psychopaths look like this, about to divulge into the most disturbing story you've ever heard. So here we go. And he goes for it. Looks back straight, looks back to the cameras. I'm serious about this. Everyone on these screens, I'm serious about this. Listen to what I'm about to say. If I get knocked down, we eat their kneecap. We get back up. We get knocked down again. We eat their kneecap the second time, the other kneecap this time. We get knocked down. We get back up. Third time though, this is where he starts going. This is kind of I'm improvising here. I watched the speech a couple times, but this is where he goes like, I don't actually know what the fuck I'm gonna say here. I don't actually know what's about to come out of my mouth next. I know the anatomy of the human body only has two kneecaps, but it's a rule of threes in my show business world, baby. And so I need another piece to this story to complete my rule of threes. One kneecap, two kneecap, a fibia, a tibia? No, Dan. We didn't do that well in our sports kinetic classes. A groin, a little too graphic, Dan. Let's just say a third kneecap, buddy. We'll get both. Brutal, man. That right there. That right there. You've done the third kneecap, right? Your outline's finished here. You finished every talking point in 66 seconds. You didn't even say thank you. You came up there like a penguin waddling around. You get comfortable because you thought of this horrific, psychotic story. And then it finishes and it's over. What do you do now, dude? You're still on stage. The light's still green. Your time's not up. Those screens are still bright as hell. So now you're in your 9 o'clock. You're watching your boss do this. I'm logging off. I'm not finishing this call. I have stuff to do. Ping me if you need something. Uh, these last 13 seconds got to be brutal. Nose flare. I'm so serious about this. I'm going to triple down here, quadruple down on what I'm saying. I'm going to get stern, even more stern. I'm not going to move my body whatsoever. And I'm going to say in the mic even more clearly. Perfect. You can walk away proud with that one, moron. Dan Campbell sucks. 872-216-5771 at the 43-minute mark. No phone calls yet. If anyone disagrees with the Dan Campbell stuff, please feel free to call in. That's the whole point of the show. I'm supposed to say something that makes you upset or ridiculously happy. Both are great reactions. Something that gets you to call into the number and say something. Begging. All right. I got nothing, man. Those are my three topics. And poker flops just beat me out. Brutal. Brutal. What if I just started playing poker? Everyone's working, man. People just have jobs and stuff. Right. That's that. Just continuing to spread the good word, man. It's not all I have. I have more than just Dan Campbell rhetoric. Seriously. That was fun to go over him though. There was another topic that wasn't on the screen right now. Got to think of something. Got to figure out something. This is always good. These are easy to digest too. Yeah, we talked a lot about Monday Night Football already. Practice paying off. 3-0 Todd Boyles. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Buccaneers are a good football team, dude. Don't know what to tell you. JJ McCarthy stuff's not interesting whatsoever. Beak would love to call in about that one. Love to get his JJ McCarthy take on the show. Carson Wentz stinky. He's a guy, man. It wasn't like the only real exciting stuff was that bad beat stuff in those two games, specifically with blocked field goals. So now you're categorizing them as both bad beats because they're both blocked field goals returned for a touchdown and to win the game. To win the game, bottom line. It's kind of a bad beat. Depends how much you had on it. What are your usual units here? How much did you put down? What was your stake? Oh, that's a lot. Yeah. So if anyone says it's like, 5, 6 figures, it's like, wow, that does kind of stink, man. You took a shot and they jumped over the center. This is all old news too. 21 hours ago, ESPN. Post is out 7 minutes ago. Open to edge rush. Really? Really? Who would it be? Can't think of a single guy that's worth it. Because you're going to have to get pieces. Like, yeah, it has to be, there's got to be a trade option that makes sense for you and another team. But you can't just do it to do it. Yeah, for sure. I like Shanahan. I think Shanahan tree's pretty good, like his dad Mike, but they both wear a lot of guys out. I think their practices are a little tough, man. I think their practices are real tough. I think it's one of like I'm trying to think of any other organization, old school organization from an old school tree, right? None of the LaFleurs or like the McVays even, but the older guys, like the Reeds, the Carrolls, the Shanahan, the Mike Shanahan's, not his son. I think they practice hard, man. Like it's all 60 minutes, absolutely. It's every play. I get that. But your 2 days and then your during the week stuff might be more up tempo than like other people's. You might be practicing harder, which is great. It's going to translate to the field, but injuries are going to come out of that like crazy. You're just overexerting guys. You're um, overextending their elasticity. That's not good. You shouldn't do that. Like I don't want Joey Bosa to be or Nick Bosa to be hurt again. I don't want any of my guys to be hurt. I don't want my Robert Griffins to get his third ACL. Like I don't want any of that. I just want to take Robert Griffin out of the game. D Rose, trying to find a potential suitor. I can't think of one. The second guy up, man. Next guy up. Yeah. There's no one. There's really not. Thought they would have at least one or two names we could look into, but there's zero names out there right now that you can find. Feel free to call into the show with your opinion about who the San Francisco 49ers should be picking up at defensive end in the wake of the Nick Bosa news. I like this. Michael Penix Jr. was off on Sunday. Really? What? How? How do you come up with that? That's a good one. Oh, even Yahoo Sports has a good one. Like early season struggles isn't great news for Falcons. Really? Their starting quarterback sucks because he's too young and has absolutely zero IQ in the pocket. Oh, You're saying a guy from Washington who's like 25 years, 26 years old isn't translating to the NFL because he's from a shit school that played shit competition and didn't get enough reps before putting him out here against like NFL talent? I don't know. Maybe. It's not great news. I agree. Yeah, sure. Nothing really controversial on that front with the Penix deal. If you think Michael Penix still has high upside, I would suggest looking into Bryce Young's career, to be honest. Low IQ quarterbacks. You can't have them. They need to be able to throw the ball within 2.8 seconds, 2.6 seconds. 100%. Under 3 seconds, or you're on the bench. If you can't get the ball out of your hands, you're not going to play. We're a throwing offense. We throw the ball 40, 50 times a game, dude. That's how we get our yards. We throw the football. If you can't hit a guy on a 5-yard out, you can't hit a guy on a slant, you can't hit anyone in the flat, can't hit anyone downfield, anyone in the seam, nothing. You got nothing. No accuracy, no timing, no nothing. You got good zip on your ball. You know, you throw it hard as hell. It looks nice sometimes. You throw it super far. Congrats. It's not how this game is being played anymore because defense exists. And when defenses switch and they roll into cover twos, or they're doing 4-man high and they're rolling into shells, you don't have the long ball. You don't have 30, 45 yards. You don't. You have your 5s. You have your 10 yards. Your route tree, you got your 2s, your 3s. On your route tree, you don't have your 7s, your 8s no more. You need a really good quarterback at this point in the game, in the year 2025, to run those deep balls. Otherwise, you're fucked. Those 7 and 8 routes, you're fucked. Excuse my language. Trying to find a good story, but again, really hoping first hour we get our first caller, and it just did not happen. It just did not happen. We still got 8 minutes for our first caller. 872-216-5771. I don't even know if the number works. Haven't tested it. Just playing around. Gonna have to go do some stuff here in the near future. Yeah, I'm number 3 now, bro. I'm getting fucked, dude. I need a guest. I just need a guest. Maybe it's this shirt. Maybe people aren't digging the pull up, the pullover, the quarter zip. Mhm. Can't even get GRP, man. Can't even get a single call in. Just call in with your phone. No voice or no audio or no video. Just your phone. Put it up to the speaker. Tell you you're wrong. Let's see if I can get we'll just go to the data, dude. At this point. That's all I got. No, it's not. I can't load anything as I'm doing this. 44 on that. All right. This is my YouTube search. A lot of Kermit stuff. Professor MJ. This is a good one. Oh, I can't. That's right, dude. I have to fix the desktop audio. 1 second.
what you talking about? I see your lips moving, but what you talking about? But what you talking about? I see your lips moving, but what you talking about? I see your lips moving.
Absolutely not it today. Let's do our thing, man. It's time to talk about baseball. No, it's not. Though it's probably more fun. There's a ton that, you know what? I'm not going to give up on the NFL just yet. Here's what we're going to do go to the scoreboard. We're going to go to the scoreboard. We're going to go to week 3. We're going to go to week 3. We're going to talk about what we saw and what we think about from the games. Packers, Browns. Easy, Browns. Easy. The more I learn about myself, in my wagers, in my analysis, to be totally transparent and to find the real root of truth. Admitting bias. I hate the NFC North, man. As much as I love it more than anything, maybe not more than the NL Central, but I love the NFC North, man. I hate every single team except the Bears, right? You hate them. You don't want to give credit anywhere. I understand that in all of my analysis. I still think Detroit's stinky. I still think Dan Campbell gets lucky. But to totally disregard their play, say that their offense can't compete, I apologize. I apologize for that echo. That echo shouldn't have happened. Now I have to worry about if that echo is continuing. Reels. Can I get a sizzle? Someone just asked me for a sizzle. What the fuck? We have like nobody watching this shit. I can go put on a hat and some sunglasses and a fake mustache. Just want to make sure right now. The echo went. There we go. Yeah, there's no echo. Back to the NFC North being an awesome division. As much as you want to discredit the head coaches, the front offices, and the players on both sides of the football, at the end of the day, to put real money down, whatever you consider as like a valuable bet or something worth sweating over, a mistake worth your interest. You can't. I nuked Baltimore late in that game. I nuked Baltimore late in the game because I had them pre as well. I found a better number live, and that number live wasn't budging up until that fourth quarter, and it really didn't get over the hump until Detroit made a move to go up 2 scores, and then they kind of just took it off the board with unreliable odds, like stuff that rec bettors can't touch anymore. So yeah, I kept hammering Baltimore, not simply just because I don't like the NFC North teams because I'm a huge Bears fan, right? That's not what we're looking for. You can't put money. The way the football game was going, at one point, John Harbaugh had to put someone else in the box. At one point, you have to put 7. At one point, you have to roll someone down. I don't care who it is. Give Roquan Smith some like smelling salt, dude. I don't know. You have to disable or dismantle the run right after the first quarter. Right after you saw what damage could be done with David Montgomery in that game, with Van Noy being out, being the huge missing factor, the complete X factor in that game. The swings were crazy because of Van Noy's absence. Montgomery broke loose for like a 72-yarder, ran one in for like 38 yards, another one. Had an excellent game ball, David Montgomery, because Van Noy's absence. We talked about this earlier at the top of the show. Next man up theory, the John Harbaugh stuff. Do you just kind of go to bed at night thinking it's the next guy up? Or are you thinking at one point in this football game, I'm going to have to throw away this defensive script and I'm going to have to roll guys down and just send 6 every time? I have to put the most pressure on the opposing quarterback as I can just to get, 1, the ball out of his hands quicker, and 2, disable this run, man. You cannot have these guys chunk 4.5 every single attempt. 5 yards every single attempt on the ground. There was no stopping up front, and totally the opposite for Detroit. So yeah, I'm on the wrong side all game, and it feels terrible. It feels terrible being on the wrong side all game. It's not just because I hate the Lions or I'm a stupid Bears fan. It's because I thought the Baltimore Ravens were going to do something different at one point to give me some type of leverage, some type of advantage in the numbers. I got them at plus 150, the better team at plus 150, the favorite at home plus 150 with time left. It wasn't until that 4th and 2 that the game was over. But up until that 4th and 2, you can keep hammering it all day. That's what I did. I was wrong. So you get it back in baseball. You bet $15 on how fast the next pitch is going to be thrown. Make your money back, dude. It's all good. You're on the wrong side of one NFL game. NFL's tough, man. NFL's been tough. NFL's been tough for the past 3-4 years. Different things happening for me this year. Usually start off 1 through 4, 1 through 6, super hot. up a ton and give it all back by week 10, right? And get into that the week 6 to 8, 6 to 10, kind of on the wrong side here. But I'm experiencing that earlier, especially with this one. I haven't been on the wrong side much this year. There haven't been that many games where I'm hammering the wrong side somewhat knowingly based on how the actual game flow is going, how good Jared Goff looked, how many yards David Montgomery was getting versus continuing to tell myself Baltimore's going to roll someone down and eliminate that. And it's going to look different in the second half. It's going to look different in the fourth quarter. It's going to look different in the last 8 minutes. It never looked different because that second man up thing, you didn't have the second man up. It's unfair to judge media talent off of clips as well. It is, especially with like a no guest or a no host type of show, where it's really just like a live stream review type thing, loosely stuff. It's a call-in show right now, right? You have to do something. You have to make something. I'm gonna turn up the audio here. I feel like I'm being a little bit too quiet on my end, so I'm gonna just notch up the dB. I think that's better. Yeah, I was wrong about Baltimore. Whatever. Absolutely dominating college. Strategy theory this year, the better team is winning. Not only in the NFL, but with the transfer portal and with exclusive NIL deals, whatever. Money has caused the entire ecosystem to develop to this junior camp of NFL, right? This mock version of it. Better teams are just getting better kids, man. You don't gotta do the dirty stuff no more. No more Hummer money, right? You don't have to go find 80, 120,000 to buy a couple cars for your defensive lineman anymore under the table. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do the gift card thing. No more gift cards. No more plant company. No more tree companies. Right? For college, for Nick Saban. I am hearing an echo, and I don't know where that echo is coming from. But since you can do all of these things, just hand kids money and say, come graduate here, happens in baseball a ton. It's happening more and more in the SEC for baseball as well. Kids, there's no more rivalries. It's like whoever pays me the most money. There's no school spirit. That was a huge thing. That's kind of like what started sports in this country, or professional football at least. Like it was college stuff. It was school spirit. It was like guys rallying around this idea that like dudes hitting each other on this field, running up and down it is cool as hell. Now you lose that. You lose that at the collegiate level for baseball. The stories I've heard. Better teams are just winning, man. Better teams are getting better athletes and hiring better coaches even to just continue winning. And there's some losing programs that were projected to be winners this year, but they're rare in my opinion. It's mostly just Clemson. It's mostly just Clemson, man. To talk college football wagering is better than NFL. Call in 872-216-5771. The idea is 26 points isn't a ton when you got Arch Manning against Sam Houston. 55 was easy. I think it was posted at 46 or whatever and rolled up to 48 quick, but it was easy. That was an easy, that way better spot, bro, because of this thing where it's like even bad top four conference kids are 10 times better. Think about like the best team in college football playing the worst team in the NFL. The worst team in the NFL wins the game by like 60 points, right? It's the same thing with mid majors and Division One, top four SEC, Big Ten. The conferences themselves, Big East and or Big 12 and not Big East for football. The ACC has been a little bit more competitive for football lately. It's really only like 3 conferences that I have in mind that are just expanding and getting better, right? Like the Pac-12, I think was a top 4 previously because all those West Coast teams were there. Pac-12 rolled to the Pac-10, and the Pac-10 turned the Big Ten. So now you have USC kids playing snow football at Michigan State in November and December, and that's okay. That's acceptable now. That's all right. broadcasting rights and sponsorship deals and okay, sure. We'll kind of break the fabric of everyone's I understand teams have changed conference college all the time, but it seems like it's been a lot more dramatic in the last 20, 30 years than it was in the 30 prior. I think it's a total shift. I think about Big East basketball a ton. Big East basketball used to be the coolest thing growing up and watching Big East basketball. These guys before the 80s and 90s and stuff. I'm talking even talking like early 2000s Big East basketball, early mid 2000s Big East basketball was kind of hot. It was kind of popping. Like power forwards and centers getting the ball, doing power ups and dunking on folk, getting really big, getting really aggressive, really strong, going to the rim. I mean, they were playing hard in college at the time everywhere, right? Like ACC was super competitive as well. But Big East basketball was crazy, man. Madison Square Garden Friday nights, Rutgers, Villanova just like punching each other and stuff. That's sweet. I'm just watching that stuff. That's cool. Boosters don't matter. The nearest subdivision to your university and that accumulated wealth matters the most now. Most of those people were probably boosters anyway. But now you could just get the whole neighborhood to throw in like you're a church donation bin going around the pews. Just knock on doors. Hey, do you want to donate 1,000 to the university? I mean, you could pay for kids' tuitions with one street in Tuscaloosa, right? Yes, your head coach sucks. Yeah, he's young. Yeah, that was a dynasty. And now you ain't got no one to come replace that. You're in a little bit of no man's land, but you still got really talented kids on both sides of the football that are constantly drafted in the top 20 in the first round. Constantly. Line, special teams, playmakers on offense, defense, all of them. They want SEC, they want Bama kids specifically, they still do. You saw one of those Bama kids getting some moments in I think it was Sunday night's game. Or was it? No, it was the Bears game. Bears Cowboys. Milton was in. I was like, what the fuck? Bears did how good? 31 points. And I'm on the wrong side of that one too. I was on Dallas. I'm not afraid to admit these things. Everything's public. Everything's transparent. Sizzle reels can't exist in this environment with no call-in. You can't have a call-in show and a sizzle reel without it being the call-in. And so if I don't have any, like I have my phone right here, guys. No one. Zero. Google Voice. Not working. I don't want to start any drama. I don't want to get hostile. Okay, still going. Still going's good. Let's go, Beak. Call in, dude. College football talk. College football time. Let's go. Call into the show, man. 872-216-5771. You can only get clips or you can only build a reel if you have a call-in show, if the clip is the call-in. It has to be the call-in. It can't just be me talking to myself about whatever. It's got to be the call-in. You can only get clips or you can only build a reel if you have a call-in show, if the clip is the call-in. It has to be the call-in. It can't just be me talking to myself about whatever. It's got to be the call-in. I think it sounds good. I'm getting an echo from somewhere. Even with my audio output capture muted and lowered all the way. Where would that echo? Maybe it can't be coming from my phone. I'm turning off the stream from my phone. 872-216-5771. Sports Guy Radio, NFL call-in show, college football talk. Better teams beating worse teams all season in college football and covering at a super high clip. Getting into why it's going to matter moving forward. Because if the NFL is going to have these insanely sharp numbers and insanely unpredictable endings, they're not going to happen rare. Doesn't necessarily qualify as the bad beat. But if bookmakers need to get their juice back because all these favorites have been winning for the last 2 years, I feel like that's the rapture. That's what's coming. That's bad. So we stay in college football. We figure out exactly how good these teams are. And I think one of these dark horse teams that most people overlook, super high in the projections too, like analysts aren't overlooking them. It's the public that's overlooking them, but is U of I. U of I is super good this year. They got dog walked by UI. I get that. Terrible game plan. I was actually at a wedding, couldn't watch that one fully, but check the scores, and I think 63-3. Yeah, brutal, brutal, brutal. So it makes kind of no sense what I'm saying. But they're maybe even out of the top. I don't think with that loss they're out of the top 25. We could just go look at the top 25 real quick too, just so I know exactly how bad that loss was to the committee and to the voters and stuff. The 8 people rankings. ESPN's awesome, man. I like looking at the coaches poll more than the 8 people, but everyone likes looking at the 8 people because that's who pays the bills. Did Illinois get bounced? Indiana to 11, no, 23. They almost got bounced. 23 on both. They almost got bounced. It's pretty good, dude. Like I think your Georgia Tech team's really good. I'm glad people found that out too. It wasn't like it's not just Syracuse and Georgia Tech being mediocre and Clemson playing poorly. Those teams are pretty good. Syracuse less so than Georgia Tech, obviously, but um, it's funny to see a couple Big Ten teams down here. We were all up here earlier. Brutal. Still got top 3. 2 of the top 3 still. This is a boring team to watch, but I guess it's really good. Their games are super lopsided, and that number's always, for me at least, I can never tell if it's like 36.5, if that's likely. Schedule would look cool. I just wanted to see where Illinois was real quick. 23, they got USC this week at 20, so I think I saw that. Yeah, 21, 23. Not a bad Big Ten game. Cool. Who's Illinois at home? Awesome. Who's coming in? Minnesota? Are we playing Wisconsin? Is Maryland coming in? The University of Southern California. Oh, a conference game? Silent mode's off. That wasn't the reason no one was calling. Just wanted to make everyone clear that the number works. The call will work. I'm going to put you up to the microphone. People will hear you. That's how this is going to work. It's been 2 days. It's been 2 days. Can't have a sizzle reel without a call-in for a call-in show. GT Wake Forest, that number's got to be fucking a billion. Wake's not that good at all. This is only top 25, isn't it? James Madison and Liberty last week was interesting. Gave up 10 super early, but then bounced back. They were big favorites, though. They shouldn't be giving up 10 in the first half to a Liberty team. So James Madison's on watch. There is a team, North Texas, that like I fucking love. Absolute printer. Last year, this year, just keep betting on North Texas spreads. They cover. It's crazy that team's 3-0-2 in the ACC. It's pretty good. I can't believe they've won 2 games. Chandler Morris for them. They were bottom feeders last year. 3 games. That's 3 games. That's 3 games. That's right. They're 3-1. Still not ranked. Pretty brutal. Yeah, that's why. Okay. This is gonna be a real test. I'll tell you what, for the Virginia Cavaliers, this is gonna be a real test. For that Morris kid, this is gonna be a real test. We'll see. I'll come back to that divisional stuff, or conference stuff, going to college football now. College football wagering is much better than the NFL wagering. Feel free to call into the show and talk about that one as well. You don't got to disagree with nothing either. I just need hot takes, man. I need to clip something, right? I need a sizzle reel to get on a show that has 100 people watching. Okay. I'm good, dude. Never mind. My bad. Didn't know. You needed, I didn't know I needed to boast you. I didn't know I needed a resume for you guys. I didn't know who I was even applying to. I'm just looking to add to the discussion here, boys. I knew I was still on top 25. There we go. Trying to find best spots here. I'm off TCU. They won last week, but not convincingly enough. I'm off TCU. Don't know how good Arizona State is whatsoever. Have not seen them play this year. I've only been following about 5 teams. Arkansas is one of those teams. They score points, man. 3.5 at home. They said, "Give me the strongest schedule you could possibly think of," and they lose their games. Jackass. Now you got Arkansas. Enjoy. 3.5 is too many. This game's gonna be a lot closer. That's one on the watch list. I'm watching Arkansas, Missouri, University of North Texas, U of I, and fading Clemson. Anyone who's playing Clemson. James Madison. I'm not trusting this 17.5 against the Southern team. This Georgia Southern team put up actually decent numbers. They're pretty athletic. They put up not that game. Maybe it was that one. These two teams are all right though. These two teams suck. They put up numbers because they're playing Maine and Jack State. Never mind. I apologize. I should have looked at exactly who they were playing. They won games they're supposed to win. They only got 20 against USC, 14 on the Fresno. Not in love with them, and I definitely don't bet them, but team to consider covering, especially in like 17.5 points for another bad team. Two bad teams playing each other and a number being that big is crazy. It's a bad team. Like this team is also not that good. They were good last year. They were good 2 years ago, winning records, but they don't put up numbers against good teams either. They really don't. This second half was better. Again, I was at the wedding, so I actually didn't see the end of this game. 31-13. They scored 14 in the fourth. That's why. This was somewhat competitive, man. It was a 17-13 game. It was a 4-point game in the fourth quarter against Liberty, dude. Not good. Can't be throwing interceptions to Liberty. Can't throw an interception to Liberty, dude. You got to beat these teams by like 30 points, 40 points. Just stomp on them. Otherwise, you're competing. And if you're competing to the fourth quarter with the Liberty, probably going to fade you the next week. See if you get back on the right train. And see you in week 5 or 6 against another, like a Louisiana or something. Next week. Or like ODU. At home. Yeah, these are two stomps. I can give like 12.5 here. You guys see what all the market makers say. I wish I had a market maker guy. No more producers for podcasts. Just like guys, data guys that can just spot you on this, like on demand. Like spotters in the booth for the broadcast guys. This is gonna be an interesting one. These guys got unlucky. Was not a bad beat. Iowa was the favorite in the game. But these guys got super unlucky. Everyone was wrong about their team total. I think it was at 21.5 last week. I think they scored 31 points. I think they got to 21 in the first quarter. The team put up numbers. They got 28. So they did stall in the second half. Yeah. They had 21 points in the first half, not the first quarter. 21-21. This was competitive as hell. Iowa pulled away late, which was a big need. These are the spots too, like live action. You could snipe the better team to win, even on the road, and you'll win. I think I got Iowa at like 150 live. You could just take it because the game was like tied. But this was a good performance in the first half. Like these guys came out with a really solid script to compete in their first Big Ten game of the season. They beat a ton of bad teams, and their numbers are super inflated. But even against Iowa, they don't look low. Like, bro had 8 receptions for 151. Dude had 24 completions. 16 incompletions is pretty bad. And an interception, no touchdowns. Pretty bad. But still, man, 330 yards, sweet. Air the thing out. Fading Rutgers again. So this is the Minnesota game. Minnesota Rutgers seems to be, I would guess 3.5. 4.5 Minnesota at home. Yeah. Both. I'm a genius. Look, I'm a market maker. Look, I just made a line. I used 3 GPUs and my quantum computer, and I got to 4.5. It's like, yeah, dude, we all got to 4.5 just fucking dicking around, dude. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, dude? The line's the line. The number's the number. You either know ball or you don't know ball. Shop the best one. Ton of providers out there. Awesome. No one's going to tell you don't get your discounts. At the end of the day, being on the right side is the most important thing. That's my whole position. Being on the right side is the absolute most important thing. This kid sucks. Who the fuck is this Lindsay kid? Does Minnesota suck? I mean, money's going to him, but like, at the end of the day, is it the wrong side? Could be. Absolutely could be. See, I'm in the garage. I'm getting bit by mosquitoes doing this solo with absolutely zero call-ins, and you're in like some stuffy room with some leather chairs talking with your buddies. We're not the same, dude. Why are these numbers so bad? Like, what's going wrong in this offense? What's happening in this offense? Nowhere, bro. Not a single spot. Not a top 5 in any category. Nothing going on for this team. Nothing going on for this team. There's 8.5 points in that Washington Ohio State game. That's interesting. It's not a phone call. Why did it take me here? I want to see all stats for the Minnesota Golden Gophers, not all stats for college football. 2-1, two bad teams, Northwestern State and Buffalo. Nice, you beat Buffalo. That's sweet. California beat you. Embarrassing. They paid money to play you. They paid money to play you and you lost. Embarrassing. You scored 14 points. Embarrassing. The Big Ten. There's fucking 20 teams in this. Like, how is it the Big Ten? Brutal, man. This guy. Here we go. I like to see ranks too. Maybe not. Who cares? Drake Lindsay. Yuck. It's SYL. Sack your sauce. Wow. Yuck. Throw the ball, kiddo. 23 yards. In 3 games? Brutal. Get the ball out of your hand. Oh, when you do that, he's taking 3 seconds. When you do that, you throw the ball to the other team twice. That's not great. That's not bad. 20 carries? I bet he gets some touches. Who's that? Yeah. Javon Tracy? Who is that? No, Lameek Brockington. Here we go. Who's this guy? Dog? No touchdown so far this season. He's due. Lamike Brockington. Pretty good, man. Is this career? Like, or is this just this year? This is just this year. Here's his career. What? Really? He ain't getting no touches. They gave him absolutely no plays last year. Or in his career, I guess. Last year he had a ton. Never mind. I'm saying 2023 sophomore, 2022 he's a freshman, plays a little. Sophomore year does not play at all. Junior year showed up, and then now senior he's really showing up. He's really showing up. This guy's got to do well for Minnesota to win that game and cover 4.5 at home against Rutgers, which he could. Those are great numbers. Do we have any tape on him? Got any videos of the kid? Here's one. Debo Samuel? No, he's not shifty like that. A little flat-footed, huh? That's why I didn't play you that much, kid. I mean, maybe he can catch. He's a little flat-footed though. That's a decent cut. All right, that's the only video we have on him. I'm not super sold on a 7-second clip. Who could be, right? Eight seven two two one six 5771. Minnesota Golden Gophers. Rutgers Scarlet Knights. You tell me. College football wagering is better than the NFL. 2 hours. We're only at an hour 30, dude. This is over, man. This show sucks. Not a single call in, dude. Brutal. It's unbelievable. Grant Washington and Lamike Brockington. You guys have good games. Get this ball out of his hands. A lot of runs. I wonder how many rushing yards Iowa got last week. And even before that. Rutgers were playing Buffalo and who? No, that was Minnesota. Forget Rutgers beat some bad teams too. Ohio, Miami, Ohio, Norfolk State. Yeah, they did score 60. That's a lot. So these numbers are gonna be super good. 31 against Ohio. It's gonna be the most comp to the 38 here into what you're gonna see in Minnesota. So 31 to a MAC, 38 to the Big Ten. That's a lot in the Big Ten so far. It's 35 points, 34 and a half points per game to the Big Ten so far. So we want to look at their defense. We want to see if any type of rushing is a problem for them. If you don't have videos, this stuff is your closest thing. Gosh, dude, I hit the wrong thing again. Do they not have full team statistics? There we go. Receiving defense. Here we go. Yards. Dang. He's got an interception too. Oh, that's from the yards. Whoops. The yards given up. This is not enough. Sacks and tackles ain't gonna do it for me. Sacks and tackles just ain't gonna do it. What do they roll up at? Does PropFinder have college football yet? They don't. Gonna need that. Pretty good offense. These numbers are crazy. These numbers are crazy. Yes, they played Norfolk State to stat pad, but like, at least they got the stat padding done. You know, the numbers are there, man. I'm fading it or taking Minnesota. I don't think these guys compete in the Big Ten this year whatsoever. We'll see. Just wait until a team that you're watching does something, and then maybe make a move on it because you're confident and you see something in their actual ability. If you're uncertain about teams, you can't go onto a side with them. Going back to the schedule, going through the Big Ten first, SEC second, mostly just best games of the week, probably. Your best games of the week matter. But those best games of the week are going to be in the conference that I just listed. So Indiana, Iowa, that number should be larger. Maybe come back to that. That number is already rolling up. Probably just get it here while you can. If you're Ohio State. And then this is dumb. This team could be an absolute printer. Public and quote sharp money is wrong about this team. Let's look at them a little bit further. In 1 second. This is a decent game. This is Saturday night game. Yeah. Gotta look into Oregon a little bit more, see how competitive they're gonna be. But Penn State, I mean, I don't know how to bet that team. they start at 30 points and then they get to 46 and a half on a dime, and then it's like a 38 and a half thing at the end of the third quarter, and it's like, you're going to cover 38 and a half? I got you at 32. Like, what's going on? So I just, where's the, here's, Pac-12 is not a thing anymore, man. There's no way that says Pac-12. They made a new Pac-12? There's 4 teams in the Pac-12. Thought they disbanded. Didn't they disband? These 4 guys were like, I see an opportunity. Let's go play for the Pacific 12 Conference. Nothing matters, man. There's no sizzle reel. There's no clips. Nothing matters. There's like 0 people watching. You, me, space is dwindling. I could wear a cowboy hat. I could put on the sunglasses, and I could make a character for this. Probably gonna have to. Everything else is more like opinion stuff. If you don't like going through ESPN and researching and looking at raw data, then that's on you, man. This ain't for you. This ain't your show. I have my topics. Call in. It's a radio show. Call in. It's a radio show. Those are my topics. Come with your own topics. Don't care. 872-216-5771. Back to the SEC this week. It's a lot of good games, man. These are a lot of the teams I watch because, like, some of the college football stuff's brutal. I ain't gonna lie to you. South Carolina 6.5 favorite at home against Kentucky. What has South Carolina shown me this year that has a conclusion of them being pretty good? They're all right. They're a dwindling SEC team, which is much of an improvement from a bottom feeder. Congrats, South Carolina fans. You're not the worst team in the SEC anymore. You were for years. That had to stink. Lenore Sellers. I'd be upset if that was my upside. Let's get some really competent, intelligent business people calling into the show too to talk about their investment strategies with college football. I can't even say it without. The old Alabama Georgias this week. Two and a half to the wrong side. Alabama's a better football team. Slow start, new coach, kind of unprepared a bit, caught with his pants down, and some crucial moments of his play calling. Chasing teams you shouldn't be chasing, like Florida State. Do what you got to do against Monroe, right? You paid us money. We're still going to kick your ass. Showed up against Wisconsin, great. 17's too low. This is a top 10 football team in college football. It is. Georgia, not so much. I'd flip the two almost. It's huge discrepancy in the rankings, and I'm being a little bit exaggerative, or I'm exaggerating a bit. Tough schedule, man. SEC's gonna be competitive as hell this year, man. Absolutely gonna be the best conference in all of football by far. Big Ten can only hope to look like this one day. This is good football, especially when you got like an Arkansas team I like following. This is probably the pick of the day to beat Notre Dame. I think that runs over. With whatever was going on over there, I think that's done. Yes, you chose to play the hardest teams. So what, man? You still have to win. You got to win. If you don't win, it doesn't look good on your resume. It just makes you look like a guy who doesn't know how to schedule properly. You're not sharper. You're not getting an edge on your peers or your competition. You're going backwards. It has a lot to do with the culture. at Notre Dame specifically. They were never really that good anyway. Seven and a half ain't enough for Tennessee against Mississippi State either, right? These all look pretty low. Vanderbilt 22 and a half. I'm trying to find the best number. What's the second one? Find the market app. I'll do it because it's the right thing to do. But I am reluctant to pull this information. I kind of want to go apple picking this week early too. If these 12 o'clocks, 11 o'clocks are going to be bummy. They've been saving everything for the afternoon games. Everything. I'm looking at the SECM at BetQL now. It's on the wrong screen. Probably should just get the access to this one. I've used it before. I had access. I paid for it before. I don't like it that much. Just looking at what they got. I can't get enough from them realistically. I don't know how free vision is. I know BetMGM. I usually use BetMGM, but I don't know how vision works. And I need real time movement, which BetMGM should have. USA 9 college football. Come on now. They're just going to give me the lines. This is the wrong one. Yeah. I got to wait a couple days. Oh. No, these are just the current line. I need the movement. Gosh darn it, dude. Better team than most people expect. We'll just stick with ESPN Bet and MGM. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Let me go to my account here. For arbitrage. I'll wear a different shirt next week if that's what matters, you know? Like if you need the collar, this has a collar. This is a nice pullover, man. It's a nice pullover. 794560. All right. Log me in. There we go. Really subscribe to a lot of the gimmicky stuff, but as long as you have access to some movement and access to multiple markets. Oh man, that's crazy, dude. What a ridiculous thing to do. I already had. No, I think I already did my. I did my free trial already. So I don't have that. And the show's over, dude. I did 2 hours. 0 calls. 0 calls. Not a single call into the call-in show. Can't have a sizzle reel for a call-in show without the call-in. Nada. Nothing, dude. Nothing. course, man. Of course. Survivor Atlas is going premium. About time. Survivor Atlas is going premium. About time. Brutal, dude. Guys watching me just freaking die up here. Brutal. That's it. Never even saw how the YouTube thing went. Probably bad. I don't know if everything should be in Century Gothic. This would be a good time to maybe like get some additional screens to put in. I'll probably just work on that on the side. Got to do some studying. Pick sides later. I don't know. Second nap. I don't know. I don't know. This sucks. The show sucks. The show sucks. It's just me in my garage. Cal Raleigh is going to be the MVP, though. We had that a couple days ago. I like that. Ink. I'll clip that. That's my sizzle. Is that tweet about Cal Raleigh being the MVP when he was 5-1. There you go. I'm super sharp, dude. Can't you tell, dude? I'm super sharp. I'm going to put on a cowboy hat tomorrow. Maybe later today. Cowboy hat, sunglasses, phony mustache. And I'm going to just start running bits up here, dude. That's it. I'm just going to start running bits. There ain't nothing to do but run bits, man. Sports is sports is sports is sports. Numbers are numbers. Kids are only as good as they are. Developmentally, we'll see who's better than the next guy next week. That's kind of how it goes. You pick who you think's going to show up and perform. It's you player props. Dangerous. Like sides. I like sides. I bet sides. Adios.